got 12 gates to the city, 12 gates to the city, 12 gates to the city, hallelujah. You got 3 gates in the east, 3 gates in the west, 3 gates in the north, and 3 gates in the south. That makes 12 gates to the city, hallelujah. You got 12 gates to the city, 12 gates to the city. You got 12 gates to the city, hallelujah, hallelujah. Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel on YouTube with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. Try to get the plant match my shirt here. How's it going? It's going pretty good over here. I had my second beginning blues harmonica workshop last night, and that seemed to go quite well indeed. Yeah, it was another full house, and people had a lot of fun, and I had some fun. They were it was funny, they were, hold on here, I'm trying to get a dip. Cheers. Yeah, it was like, the crowd was kind of older. Like, one woman, probably in her 60s, drove 2 hours to come to the workshop from a neighboring town. I couldn't believe it. And there was 3 other guys. It wasn't a full house. It was like one more person. It would have been a full house. So, and yeah, they asked a lot of good questions. Everybody had fun. Everybody said it was worth the while. They'd come back if I did another one or another. You know, I'm working towards doing, if I can get all these people playing the basics, you know, and them getting comfortable with the instrument and wanting to learn more, you know, I'm putting together in my head an intermediate workshop, you know, to take it a step ahead, because I think that's going to be the natural progression of this thing. But we shall see. I don't even know if I'll ever do it again, you know. All the people who seemed to show an interest in it happening the first time seem to have all had it done. So we shall see. But I hope you're all having a good Friday. It's fucking Friday. Woohoo! The only thing I can report is my old friends, the Venisons, are playing in town tonight down at the Garnet. Neil Lorenzen, he sings and plays guitar for that band. I don't know who drums for it now, and my friend Dan Jacobs plays the bass, and they've been going. It's funny, they've been going for years. It was kind of, you know, when Neil was the bass player in the Jackson Sanatorium, and when that band split, you know, he really needed to keep that vibe going, right? And so he started, you know, he did a couple little projects. He did a project with myself and my old friend Chris called the Dirty Sanchez Brothers, and the Venisons kind of sound like that, except I think we sound a little bit better. It was just, when we had the Dirty Sanchez Brothers, it was just me and Neil on, like, he played rhythm guitar and sang, and I played lead slide guitar. Anyway, we kind of ended that band, Chris and I, because we kind of got tired of dealing with Neil and his demands with us. But he's had this band, the Venisons, for well over a decade now. And they're the kind of band, they play really shitty blues, like really, like they're trying to do the Fat Possum thing from the '90s, like R.L. Burnside and Junior Kimbrough and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of vibe they have, right? But it's I don't know. They're fun. They're definitely fun to see. They're the kind of band that they'll put up chicken wire around the stage and invite the crowd to chuck bottles at them and stuff like that. So they're living it. But it was funny because I was reading the post for the show, and they called themselves the Godfathers of the Blues in Peterborough, and all I could think is, man, I taught you everything you know about the blues, when I first, that's why we started the Jackson Sanatorium, because Neil wanted to learn how to play blues music, and I was the only blues musician that he knew or felt comfortable approaching, and so yeah, I don't know. And I know there was great blues players in town before me, so I think the blues has been a long tradition in Peterborough. Just so I don't know, but people like to, bands. It's all about the myth, right? It's all about the story. People are always interested in the story, so and that's good. That's part of the fun of it. Anyhow, I was playing that song at the beginning, kind of a hack version of a Reverend Gary Davis song, but I got my little Jim Dandy guitar here. The original reason I bought this was to take this nut extender here and raise the strings off. You see how high the strings are? So I can play it lap style, like, so I have it in my lap like this, and I play it using, this is called the Stevens bar, and I lost this for a while too. So, and this, yeah, I don't like using my bottlenecks for doing lap style guitar, but so yeah, you just lean it on your lap and. And I find with this guitar, this guitar, it might be a Gretsch, but it's a real cheap ass guitar. It makes it sound it makes it sound like a better guitar. So, it's, and you don't break strings as much when you play lap style either. But, the reason I started playing lap style, slide guitar was, I've been playing guitar almost as long as I've been playing harmonica, like I started guitar a couple of years later. And I always wanted to play the blues, right? I always wanted to play like the slide, like Muddy Waters and stuff, right? And, but I had no idea how to work, like, how do you do this? Because I'd run my slide along my guitar, it'd be in standard tuning, and I'd be like, this sounds horrible, because I had no idea of open tunings yet. And then one day in the '90s, I found an issue of Guitar Player magazine, and it said everything you need to know about slide guitar. So I bought it, and it literally taught me everything I needed to know about slide guitar, about who the good players were, how to do it, how to play bottleneck style, how to play lap style, the tunings. That was the thing that got me, was the tunings. I had no idea you could tune the guitar differently. It didn't even cross my mind, And so yeah, I tune it to an open G chord, and but the reason I started playing lap style guitar is because back back in the '90s when I was performing a lot as a solo musician, um, I also drank very heavily, very heavily. So I was in so much stuff. Like I was in so much theater and performing all the time, as in bands and with as a solo artist, all kinds of stuff. So my theory was, after you can all be good and practiced and everything, but then you get to the bar, and you have a few beers, and you get up on stage, and you forget your lyrics. You forget, you know what I mean? Like it's so. My theory was if I practice when I'm wasted, then I'll be able to play when I'm wasted. And I was right. So what I would do is I'd get a bottle of wild turkey or something like that, and sit up in my studio and get drunk as hell and practice my show, practice my solo show, and or my songs or whatever. And it was amazing, because the next time I played completely fucking in the bag, and I could play it okay because I'd been practicing when I was in the bag. So I started anyway. So when I was doing that, I knew that you could play slide guitar both bottleneck style, like with a I don't have it handy, but with a little thing on your finger, like a slide, a brass slide or a glass slide or whatever you choose. And but I also knew you could play lap style, right? So I got immediately interested in that because I thought it looked really cool, and but I learned that it's when you're drinking, it's really easy to just slide the guitar in your lap and slide the bar around the strings and try to figure out anything with your fingers or whatever. So yeah, that's why I played lap style slide guitar, because it was a product of my excessive drinking. But it's one good thing that came out of that. So I learned how to play a style of guitar. So, but yeah, I'm really happy I got it all set up again. And it's cool. I don't know if I ever showed you. Bone Daddy Dan Dempster sent me this cool ass Johnny Cash sticker. So every guy like me, one of his heroes is Johnny Cash. So yeah, people have been cranking out the content. It's almost hard to keep up at times. Snuff Strings has new stuff. Angry Buddha has new stuff. Suit and Tie has new stuff. Very regularly, every other day. Bergs has something up at least once a week. It's great. It's great to see. No Bluff Buff has been putting up stuff. No Bluff Buff has been putting up stuff. And even Real Talk Studios has started putting up little videos on his channel, which makes my heart very happy, because he's a real cool guy and a really great supporter of my channel. So I'm glad that I can see something of his and support it back. And the slime molds, man, they're always up to something fucking weird. And but go check out the slime molds, man. Like, their music is pretty crazy, and maybe not for everybody, but some of the other videos he has up on the channel, like his karate videos and stuff like that, they're just simply amazing, absolutely beautiful, breathtaking. Kawashai has been posting kind of in little bursts here and there. That's kind of how he rolls most of the time. But it's always a pleasure going and checking out Kawashai's stuff. I know I have to catch up on a lot of stuff with him, but I do my the best I can when I can be doing that sort of thing. Um, yeah, and I'm all thinking about my Christmas challenge now, uh, with my Casio keyboard and the Jingle Bells song in it, because I'm gonna do it. I'm totally gonna do it, and it might be a really long video, in maybe in 2 or 3 parts, um, but we'll see when we get there. I don't know. Maybe when YouTube changes everything on December 10th, I'll be taken off the map. Even who knows? I don't know the future of small channels like me in the coming future. 'Cause YouTube seems to be changing all the rules and stuff. One of the things is you gotta get the YouTube Creator Studio now, which I've had since I started the channel, just because it's useful. But now you have to go, when you make a video, you have to go into the Creators channel. Uh, pull up the video you just posted, hit the little edit pencil, then go to advanced settings on that, and then it like there's a whole bunch of stuff, and one is the question, like, is this kid friendly? Is this video made for kids or whatever? And you mark it yes or no, and if you know so, and if you don't mark it no. And kids end up seeing it. I think that's why this all arose. Like somebody made some kind of video that upset some parent that their kid saw it, or something like that. Um, but yeah, it could be big trouble. I've heard that the fines can be up to $42,000 per video, but that's just what I've heard. Um, but I probably have about at least 2,500 to 3,000 videos on this channel, maybe even more. I don't know. I haven't counted recently. Last time I checked, it was at 2,500. So I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to go back and just mark every single video as not kid friendly. And some of the videos have my children in them, right? And that's another thing that's playing into it. Like, if there's children in the video, it might be assumed that it's okay for kids if you haven't checked it, or your channel. I don't know. I don't really know. My videos with my kids are all pretty clean and innocent, but it's just a thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. So maybe the final end days of guys like me on YouTube. But then again, it might not be. So who knows? You never know until you get there. All right, people. Be well. Have a wonderful Friday night, and I'll see you soon.